welcome to another session. In today's video, we'll be looking on a problem that you probably see in your upcoming exams, in which it asks you to calculate the lengths of PQ and QS. Here we have the triangle PQR, right? And we're asked to find the length, all right, of PQ, and in this triangle, we're asked to find the length of angle QS. Alright, so what we're going to use to solve this problem in finding the length is a common theorem. It's called Pythagoras Theorem. Alright, we have already solved that. What we're going to do, and the Pythagoras Theorem says that the sum of the hypotenuse, which is the longest side, is equal to the sum of the square of the two shorter sides, right? Which would be side RQ and PR. Right? So the formula right in here, C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Right? And we're asked to find the length of the longest side. In working on this side of the triangle, we know PR is equal to 3, and we can let that side be the A, so we say 3 squared, C squared, and this other length is 4, so we say 4 squared. And what we have here is C squared is equal to 3 3 is 9 plus 4 4 is 16, and we say C squared is equal to 25. We square both sides. We want to solve it not for C squared but for C, and so C is equal to 5, and that's why we have the 5 centimeter. Alright, now we're going to find the next length, which is QS. Alright, so what we have here, using the same formula, C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. C squared is equal to A, and we can name any one of these sides, right? It can work for both. So let's say 4 squared plus 6 squared. So C squared is equal to 4 4 is 16 plus 6 6 is 36. C squared is equal to 52. Square both sides, and C is equal to the square root of 52 or 7.2 centimeter. Alright, we're going to look on two other examples just to solidify that. Alright, so here we have a single triangle. And this measurement is 9, and this measurement is 5. Alright, so we're going to name the triangle A, B, and C. Alright, and these are not the sides, these are just the angle, right? So the opposite, this is where your 90-degree angle is, right? And we know to this side we have the small c, which is the length. This side would represent, this big A would represent the angles, so we know that right here is a small a, and this one small b, right? So that's how we can tie into in finding the length. If we're asked to find the A, or the big A would be asked to find the angle, or we're asked to find the length. So we're still applying the formula C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Right? We know we have small a is equal to 5 squared. Alright, C squared. And now we have small b is equal to 9 squared. C squared is equal to 5 squared is 25, and 9 squared is 81. So C squared is equal to 25 plus 81, okay, and that's 106. Alright, and let us check on the calculator. We're going to square both sides as well. Square root, and we have C is equal to 10.29, right, centimeter. Alright, we're going to look on a last example, right, and we see how this one is facing this way, and it could be also facing the other way. Alright, but the aim of it is that the longest side is the hypotenuse. R, P, cubed. Alright? And we say this is 13 centimeter, is 8 centimeter. Alright? And we say this is angle Q, angle P, angle R. Alright? And so we need to find the small p. So we're going to use same formula just to keep in line with that. The c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. And yes, we know we can use different letters, but it also helps to reinforce when we keep the formula same as it is. Alright? We get 13 squared plus 8 squared. Alright? So c squared is equal to 13 squared and that's 169. Plus 8 squared, that's 64. That's 169 plus 64, and that's equal to 2, 3, 3. Squaring both sides. And the reason why we're squaring both sides, if I want to emphasize this, is to remove the square, right? We're not solving for c squared, we're solving for c. And so c is equal to the square root of 233, and that is equal to 15.26 centimeters. And always remember to include your units, right? So right here, we would have 15.26. All right? And it is also the same if you were given the hypotenuse and being asked to find a length, right? All right, so we're gonna backtrack and see if we will get the hypotenuse, all right? Or if we get any other lengths, right? So say we have the hypotenuse and we have this side and we want to find this side. It should also work. So we say c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, all right? We're gonna plug in for c squared is 15.26, and we're gonna not let a squared be found. A squared plus, we know b squared is 13 squared, right? And so we're going to solve for a. We're going to still keep it down until we make a squared be the subject. We have 15.26 is equal to a squared plus 13 squared. We know that's 169. All right. So we're going to go through this step by step. So we have 15.26, right? What we're going to do is that we're going to subtract this on both sides, minus 15.26, right, is equal to a squared plus 169. And so the a squared, we're going to also subtract it over this side, minus a squared. So all right, let's, so when we subtract it from this side, it would then add it to this side. So we would have the a squared equal 169 minus 15.26. And what we had to do right here in following the operation, we had to subtract the 15.26 from this side, and we had it over this side, right? All right. We have it subtracted over this side, so we're going to also subtract it from this side. We have the a squared over this side, we're going to also subtract from this side and bring it over this side, right? And that's why you have the 169 minus 15.26. So we have a squared is equal to 169 minus 15.26, and that's equal to 153.74, right? And we're still not solving for a squared, but we're solving for a. Find the square root of this on both sides. So a is equal to the square root of 153.74, and that, let me double check. Alright, so we made an error right here because within the square, the 15.26 also So 15.26 square is equal to a square plus, right, square this side, 169, right? And similarly, when we have the 15.26, right, so we have 2.86, right, equal a squared plus 169, alright, and as we're saying, if we had more space, we need to subtract this from this side, carry it over this side, subtract the a squared from this side, and put it over your side, over this side. So we have a squared is equal to 2. Alright, I guess it's more easier if we subtract the 169. So we have the 2.86 minus the 169 is equal to a squared. And why we did it this way is that it's less for us to subtract the 169 from this side and bring it over this side, right? So we have 236 minus 169. This will be cancelled over this side, and we'll left the a square over that by itself. We have this minus 169, and we are left with, alright, so we have 63.86 is equal to a square, right? And as we were saying, we're solving for a, not for a square, right? If we were to round 63.86, we would definitely round it off to 64, right? And so we're still squaring that is equal to a square, right? And the square root of 64, we know that to be 8, right? So a is equal to 8, and that's how they got the 8, right? Alright, let's try to solve this one as well, just to solidify this. So we have the 5 square and 9 square, and we know the hypotenuse is 10.29, right? So we say c square is equal to a square plus b square. Alright, we're gonna use this number, the 5, we're gonna not include this, so we're gonna say 10.26, 10.29 is equal to 9 square plus b square, right? So we have the 10 points, and this should also be square, and that is why we got the error. So we got the square, ensure that in setting it out, any number that we have here, the square root should be also on it. So 10.29, well, we already know that 10 square is 100, but let's see 10.29 square. Alright, and that is 105.88. We know 9 square is 81 plus b square, in which we don't know. So what we're going to do, subtract the 81 from this side, and we're going to subtract it from this side as well. So we have 105.88 minus 81 is equal, that would cancel, is equal to b square. And so we have this minus 81, and we have 24.88 equal b square. We know we can definitely round this off to 25 is equal b square. In squaring this 25, we find b is equal to 5, as we have here. Alright, so now this concludes our finding the hypotenuse and also finding a length, as we had found the hypotenuse and we were able to find any of these lengths, right? So we were able to find b, and in this one we were able to find a. Alright.